So, you're moving to Houston or you're moving within Houston because you were transferred or got a new job working downtown Houston, and you need to figure out where to live so you don't go insane from traffic every day. My name is Mariam Hejazi. I've been helping people buy and sell residential real estate for over 12 years, and I have been loving Houston since 1987. Let's get into it. Now, I'm sure that there are other cities in America like Houston in that the downtown space that Houston occupies is not heavily residential. The only residences there are high rises, and most Houstonians don't live downtown. They live west of downtown and far west of downtown, north and south. There's not a ton on the east side. Now there is Edo, which is a slowly regentrifying area. It's largely industrial still in Edo, and there are lots of townhomes, a new golf course, and some great restaurants like Tiny Champions and Nancy's Hustle. But downtown, it's largely just office spaces for huge companies like Shell, P66, Hines, Akin, Gump, Baker Botts, or in law and accounting, Vinson and Elkins, Deloitte, EY, KPMG, and Pricewaterhouse Coopers. So if you are working at any of these companies and you're trying to figure out where you should live, you may not want to live downtown, and I'm gonna give you a map overview. We're just gonna have kind of a big lesson in Houston in relation to working in downtown. Alrighty, so Houston is really big. I'm sure you already know that. This loop here, this is the outer loop now. This is loop 99. This was recently constructed and completed. These sections over here were just opened in like 2017, 2019-ish. So we cannot live out there. So if you work downtown, I strongly suggest that this is a no-go zone for you, as well as Beltway 8. I think that this is too far for you as well, unless you are totally fine with over an hour each way every day you go into the office. So if we zoom in a little bit here, this is loop 610. This is called the inner loop. You'll hear it sometimes abbreviated ITL or in the loop. This is loop 610. Loop 610 is also extremely congested on the west side. Most of the population in this area is on the west side. There's a lot over here, but it's mostly industrial, and there's residential in different pockets over here and certainly over here, but this is going to be a much older part of town. It's still largely regentrifying, which is okay if you are all right with living in a very industrial and regentrifying area. Now, I will say there's a cool golf course that just opened up over here called East River 9. So you could be really close to that if you lived in Edo. Edo is what we call this. East downtown because it's east of downtown. This is downtown. So if you're gonna work in one of these big high rises, you're gonna be in this little bullseye here. If you want an easy commute to downtown, this is really going to be like the best area for you. So let me zoom out a little bit. So Heights, but this portion of the Heights, not really further than this. You could live over here because you can just take this straight in, and you can either take Shepherd or TC Jester, or you can drop down to Memorial. You could take Shepherd right here, drop down to Memorial, and then this is only a few minutes to downtown. I think if you want to live in a moderate price range, and moderate in this area would be $550 to, we'll call it $750. This is going to be your sweet spot here. There is a limited inventory in that price point over here, but these are going to be the most affordable, the crossroads between like affordability and quality and commute. These are our sweet spots here. River Oaks is extremely expensive. This is all of River Oaks proper. This green blob is Memorial Park. So if we're working downtown on a regular basis and you don't want to drive yourself absolutely insane with a crazy commute, you really need to be over here. Another place you could live would be West U over here. There are little pockets in the 550 to 750 range. If you can spend more than 750, then the world is your oyster over here. If you can go up to 1.5 or 2 million, you can have sort of the pick of the litter. It just depends on what market cycle you come in looking for houses. This is also viable down here by the Med Center. Very easy to get to downtown. I would really recommend you being along Memorial because this is the easiest, least congested highway into downtown. I don't think I have ever been in a traffic jam on Memorial Drive. And I drive anywhere from like 50 to 65 miles an hour here. It's sunken down sort of. Now Memorial Drive does flood when we get these crazy deluges or tropical storms or hurricanes. It dumps you out right into downtown. Now this grid system, a lot of these are one-way only streets, so you'll have to get the lay of the land. You'll also have to have a parking pass and a parking garage that you will likely have to pay for, or perhaps your company will pay. But all of this is very easy in and out. It just depends on what kind of house you're looking for. These are going to be older bungalows or brand new construction. Brand new construction as in pre-2020. Midtown is a hustle and bustle. There's a lot of pedestrian traffic. There's a lot of bars. It's not the most peaceful community if quiet and peace is what you're looking for. Montrose would also be great for you. It's easy to get in and out of downtown. You can live here. There's, again, a lot of pedestrian traffic here, but this is really close to the museums. There are amazing houses here, but there are also teardowns. Something amazing about Houston is that there is no zoning, but something terrible about Houston is that there is no zoning. This is Riverside Terrace. You're going to have giant houses developed in the mid-30s, but they've either been heavily renovated and they're gorgeous, or they are bordering needing to be torn down. It's really lot by lot and street by street. Where you should not live, well, we can go over it. Okay, so this is also, if you have to live further out, but this is not less expensive, I can tell you that. These are multi-million-dollar homes here, so if you are on a budget and you want to live outside of the loop, a place you can be is there's a lot of townhomes in this little quadrant, and these townhomes here range anywhere from the low 2s all the way to the 700s. It just depends on how big and when it was built. This is Tanglewood. This is very expensive. If you are on a budget, this is not for you. So if you are on a budget and you want to live outside the loop, this is a great place to look. There are nicer townhomes here, but you may find a diamond in the rough. There's a couple townhome communities here. This is a very beautiful part of town. But all of these are all the villages. This is all going to be multi-million dollars. So if you're on a budget, this is where you need to be looking. Midtown. I mean, all of this is multi-million dollars. Westview is quite expensive, but there are a couple hidden gems. I did have people buy there last year in the high 500s, and they're very happy there. And they also work downtown, so they chose to live here and go in and out of downtown from here. You can live in the Heights. this would be fine. This is all fine, but the further you are out, the more traffic lights there are between you and your destination. Now, this area has been up and coming for several years now. There are some really cool houses here, but it is largely still regentrifying, so just beware. You can live out here. This is fine too, but the price range is vast here. You could live in a $3.2 million house, or you could live in an original post-World War II construction house in the high 600 range. But you really need to spend about $475, $550 to be comfortable in this part of town. This is Garden Oaks and Oak Forest. We also abbreviate that as GOOF, or the Goof as some locals call it. I still call it Garden Oaks and Oak Forest, but I definitely in written format abbreviate as GOOF, all capital. Where you can live, if you are looking to live in a suburb, like maybe you have several children and you prefer a great school district and more of a suburban feel, in my opinion, as a native, lifelong Houstonian who has traveled vast and wide distances all around Houston, I believe that the best neighborhood for you to live in if you have to work downtown is Kingwood. And it is up here. So in my opinion, Kingwood, it's over here, but 59 outbound on the north side is, as of now, as of summer 2025, it is one of the least congested major highways in all of Houston. So if you have to commute that regular 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, this will still be congested, but there is an HOV lane. Lord help you if there's a stalled car in front of you, because then you are truly stuck. But 59, it's a straight shot out here. There's a great lake out here with a bunch of golf courses, Lake Houston. So this is Kingwood. This is Atascocita. Atascocita is on the south side and Kingwood is on the north side. You'll also hear Humble, and it's spelled humble, but it's pronounced umble. We pretend that the H is not there. So Humble and Atascocita would be just fine as well. Some people prefer the Atascocita and the Humble school district, and some people prefer Kingwood. Do your own research. Kingwood is also really good if you have to be very close to an airport, because this part of Kingwood to Intercontinental, we're talking 18 minutes. And I know that that seems like it should be less, but remember, Houston is really, really gargantuan. Now, listen. Kingwood is beautiful, but some of it does flood. The back part of Kingwood flooded terribly in Harvey, and it should probably be very visibly disclosed that it flooded. But if you are looking in Kingwood, one of the first questions you should be asking is, did this flood in Harvey? And if it didn't, where did the water come up to in the lot? This is called the back of Kingwood, or at least most people say the back of Kingwood. The difference of living here versus here or up here can be easily 10 to 15 minutes. What this map does not really show you is that there is a railroad here, and sometimes the railroad or the train will just stall on North Park or Kingwood Drive. And North Park and Kingwood Drive are like the major entry points into Kingwood. North Park is going to be on the north side, and then Kingwood Drive is on the south side. I prefer Kingwood Drive. I think it's prettier than North Park. But if you live down here, this is fine. This is great proximity. But if you live back here, it can add a lot of time onto your drive just to get out to 59 to start your drive into downtown. So if Kingwood is a viable option for you, then I would concentrate my efforts in here and try to stay closer to 59 just because of the traffic. And I know that I'm making an entire video about traffic, but Houston has really bad traffic, and for you to take 12 or 15 minutes just to get out of your neighborhood, it will really wear on your soul. So I'm trying to educate you as much as I possibly can. So if you have to choose a suburb, Kingwood would be, I think, the best choice. And I love that it's really close to Intercontinental. If you are a United snob like I am, this is the United hub here in Houston. If you are a Southwest person, I'm so sorry, but Hobby is down here, and Southwest flies in and out of Hobby. So if you work downtown and you are going to live in Kingwood, then you better become a United person. If Kingwood does not interest you, you could live in Pearland. That's viable too, especially if you're a Hobby person, a Hobby and Southwest person. That could be sort of like the Kingwood of the South, although Pearland is way different than Kingwood. So Pearland is a relatively easy driving distance to downtown, and it offers like a nice neighborhood suburban feel. An upside to Pearland is that you're really close to Galveston, and Galveston takes a while to appreciate, but I've been here a long time and I know all the best places to go, including the best free beaches. Where I think it would be an absolute death sentence for you to live if you have to work regularly in downtown is anywhere on the west side. If you, even in Missouri City, Sugarland, it's really far. I have had people choose to lose money on houses, multiple clients. They chose to leave money on the table with their houses in Missouri City and Siena because the drive to downtown and on the north side, up to the north side, was so soul crushing. They chose to lose money on their houses and move much further in. So just let that be a cautionary tale to you. Siena is a very popular new construction community, and there are old portions of Siena and new portions of Siena, and it's all down here. Do not be fooled. This is very far from downtown. If you work in downtown, hopefully you only work 1 to 2 days a week, because it's daunting. You have to get on, first of all, you have to get out of Siena, then you have to get on this new highway, Fort Bend Toll Road, and it's all toll roads. Toll road up this way. Then you have to get on 90, and this is not a super easy transition. You go up here, then you have to get here. Then you can catch 288 here, or you can get on 610 and catch 288. Look, there's a car wreck right now. I'm recording this video in the afternoon on a weekday, and look at the real-time traffic here. So I know this is really doom and gloom, but I just believe in a strategy for traffic if you're going to work downtown. I think as far west as I would ever live, if I was really tied to downtown, would be the Villages or maybe Spring Branch. I might live down here, but this is like the area is like a little iffy, but of course you have to be the person who decides that for yourself. This is very far. This is very far. Do not let this small distance fool you. This is very far. And I-10, if you didn't know, is one of the world's widest roadways that continually is gridlocked. If I started here at rush hour to get to Katy, let's zoom out. If I started here to get to Katy at rush hour, this alone this stretch here, this is an hour at minimum. At minimum. It is crazy. So do not live in Katy if you are working downtown. No Katy, no Cinco Ranch, no Richmond, no Rosenberg, no Sugarland. Jersey Village, meh, I don't know. I still think it's too far. Certainly not Tomball or the Woodlands. And there are poor souls that do have to do the Woodlands to downtown drive, and it is soul crushing. Definitely not Conroe unless it's 1 day a week. This is very far. Unless you have no traffic constraints and you can just get there whenever you want, it is so far. And the traffic is so unforgiving. This is I-45. And the stretch of 45 between 99 and like 242 or Conroe, this stretch of I-45 is like pretty fine. Like the cement quality is fine. I don't really have any complaints about the road quality, but let me tell you something. The stretch of 45 here, this is pothole central. The lanes are all jacked up, crazy drivers, terrible, ugly commercial all the way up until at least 1960, and then it improves a little bit from 1960 to 99, and then it drastically improves 99 and up. But don't shoot the messenger. This is just the way it is. Now, if you want a much more peaceful route to the north, this is the Hardy Toll Road, and I often take the Hardy Toll Road. Yes, you do have to pay for it. I don't even know how much it costs. They just bill my credit card. This is a much more peaceful drive, north and south. And there is a way for you to take Hardy Toll Road, and then you could actually take the Hardy Road in, and this is actually called Hardy down here. So this is the Hardy Toll Road, and this is regular Hardy. But then this dumps you out to this side of downtown. So again, it should be specific to where exactly your building is located. So I hope this helps. If you need any further discussion on where to live, if you are working downtown in Houston, please reach out. I am an expert in Houston traffic flow, and I know pretty much all of the large subdivisions on the outside of town, but also intricately inner loop. And specifically on the outside of town, I grew up in Tomball. So this northwestern arc is like a super duper specialty for me. But also I live in this area, and all of this is a super duper specialty for me as well. So again, my name is Mariam Hejazi. I've been helping people buy and sell residential real estate for over 12 years, and I have been loving Houston since 1987. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share with all of your other friends that are moving to Houston. Until next time, see you later.